I can absolutely positively guarantee you that I am not purple and I'm not fuzzy. Now, this part of my face is discolored because it's a black eye. And it was much worse a few weeks ago. Actually, it's been about 10 weeks ago, over 2 months. And it was just totally black because somebody threw something at me not related to this website or whatever. But those things happen. But as odd as I look, I can guarantee you this. I'm working on my green screen. I don't have this thing down pat, so I'm a little fuzzy, I'm a little purple, and some of the back is washed out. And my understanding is that's because the green screen is not evenly lit. The story is about Elon Musk. It comes from dailymail.com and his comments about George Soros when he was talking to Joe Rogan on his podcast. What he had to say about George Soros was that he hates humanity and wants to erode the fabric of civilization. Now, I got two problems here. Number one, he's being honest, my opinion. Number two, he's being not only truthful, but it's not a very kind, considerate thing to say. So when you say something about somebody and it's not kind, but it is honest, that's a problem for the person about whom you are speaking. And I think everybody understands that George Soros is he's a philanthropist, but he's a leftist philanthropist. And he puts a lot of money, from what I understand, through his network of organizations to support far left-wing, could I call them hate groups? Because if he hates humanity and these groups are hurting humanity, then it's safe to call them hate groups. Look at these guys. This is Elon Musk smoking a cigar, not a guitar. And this is Joe Rogan smoking a cigar. So if you think I look funny because I'm kind of purple, look at these guys. So I'm kind of curious what you think about George Soros, and would America be better off without him? And why is it that we have to put up with people like that? And it's because we're in a free society. The very society that George Soros appears to me to be trying to destroy. According to the story, Soros, born in Budapest, survived the Nazi occupation of Hungary. Then he moved to Britain and the United States, where he began his highly influential philanthropy. And again, what they call philanthropy, in my opinion, is supporting hate groups. Now, I wonder, as I read through this, I didn't see anything about George Soros, who my understanding is Jewish, collaborating with the Nazis, the National Socialists, during the years prior to World War II, and maybe even during World War II, when he was a kid. And from what I've read, he was like a message runner, and he's making money doing that. Always the money maker, even if it betrays his own people. Has this guy not learned anything over the years? Because, and again, the washout, that's due to the green screen, but has he not learned anything over the years? Musk said that he was deeply opposed to Soros' work backing progressive district attorneys. The terminology, the language loading, these people are not progressive, they're regressive. They're not liberals, they are authoritarians. They take words, they abuse them, they misuse them to form our way of thinking about them, but there's nothing progressive about them, my opinion. But Musk goes on and he says he's doing things that erode the fabric of civilization. Getting district attorneys elected who refuse to prosecute crime. And when you do that, what happens? Well, a couple things happen. Number one, the criminals go out and commit more crime. We've seen that. I've posted several stories on my website about that. By the way, if you go to my website, what you will see is in the right-hand column, most every night I post a top 10 list called Hot Headlines, and that's where I'm getting these stories that we talk about on the YouTube channel. So Rogan asked, is it humanity or just the United States? And Musk said it was worldwide. Now, if you attack the United States, you're attacking everybody because the United States is that influential. As long as we're doing something good, and we have, but just due to our innovation, not just the United States, but Western culture in its entirety, but the United States in particular, because of our innovation, we have affected the entire world positively. Now stop and think. Stop and think about one thing that you can see at this very moment. Just look around you. That was not invented by Western culture. Chances are you can't find much of anything. And if you do find something, like what's it called, a USB, universal something something, that was invented by a guy in India, but it would not have been invented had it not been for Western civilization. So the influence is still there. But the point is, if you destroy the United States, you may as well go ahead and destroy the whole world. And I think maybe these people know that because this is their twisted way of, I don't like the word pushing, but yeah, that's what they're doing. I think they're pushing a Marxist mindset. But Musk said he's pushing things in other countries as well. And so I guess his organization is international in scope. And he goes on and he says about his son, Musk told Rogan that he thought Soros was basically a bit senile at this point. I would say he's more senile at this point. In June, Soros handed control of the Open Society Foundation, another misnomer, and the rest of his $25 billion empire to his 37-year-old son, Alex. So things are not going to get better, because my understanding is that Alex's ideology is pretty much in alignment to Daddy George. The foundation directs about $1.5 billion a year to groups such as those backing human rights. According to them, I think it's anti-human rights around the world and helping build democracies. Now, keep in mind, this is not Musk saying this. This is the writer of this article expressing his opinion. Building democracies, these people are authoritarians. In my opinion, they don't understand democracy. They certainly don't understand republicanism, which is a form of democracy. You know, you say that the United States is a democracy, somebody will yell at you and say, no, it's a republic. Well, a republic is a form of democracy. So, yeah, you're technically correct in my opinion. Alex Soros said he intends to broaden the foundation's priorities to include voting and abortion rights as well as gender equality. I'm all for voting, you know, true democracy. But these people say they are, but they're so tricky. You know, they try to maneuver. Well, for example, countless hundreds of thousands pouring over the southern border in the United States so they can influence the vote, future voting. They're for voting, yeah. They're not for democracy like they say they are, in my opinion. Abortion rights, do the aborted have rights? No. I mean, if they were to ask you, remember back when you were a fetus? No, you don't remember that, but you were. And if somebody had asked you, hey, is it okay if we kill you before you're born? I mean, we want to get, because you're involved in this thing, you know, just want to get your opinion. Chances are, I don't know about you, but I would have said, no, I kind of like to live my whole life. And I've pretty much done that now that I'm in my 70s. So what is this abortion rights? Do the children have rights before they're born? And gender equality. Again, they play these word games. Who is not for gender equality? But when they say equality, they mean sameness. This is Marxism. You know, everybody's the same. One person can't be different from another. The way they deal with that and try to influence that way of thinking, try to convince us that there aren't two genders. There's a spectrum of genders, and you just kind of fall somewhere along that spectrum somewhere, not scientific whatsoever. They don't deal with reality. You got to be careful when they use these words. By the way, if you go to my website, see if I can find this. There's a link that says language loading. I don't even know where I put it now, but it's in the right-hand column. And what you will see is all the words that I could think of. Woke language loading. Here it is. That there was a good video to listen to that the left have invented. Left has invented. And I've listed a bunch of them. I'll just read maybe a dozen of them. Alphabetical order. Affirmative action. The left invented that. Language loading. African American. Left invented that. Antifa or Antifa. Anti-fascist. They're not anti-fascist. George Soros, remember, helped the National Socialists. Binarism. Birthing people. Blackface. They didn't invent that word, I don't think, but they use it. You know, they take advantage of it. Brought into the 21st century. That's a euphemism for globalism. Chauvinism, again, they didn't invent that, but they use it. Just feeding. Whatever. But that's the whole point. A little bit off topic here, but speaking of George Soros, he said that he's very good at arbitrage. Famously, he shorted the British pound. That's how I think he made his first money. Not his first money, but his first big money. So we could go on. The story goes on that, there is a guy here, Musk, by any rational person, is a moderate, but he's a patriot. But he sees through the nonsense. He sees through the blue. He sees through the woke. He understands these folks are bogus. And he even goes on, if you read the early part of the article, we don't need to do that. Well, yeah, but he bought Twitter because of its highly biased, if you go through and read this article. Well, he says here, the ex-CEO said he bought Twitter a year ago because he felt it was having a corrosive effect on civilization and spreading the woke mind virus at a dangerous pace, and so he bought it. All right. Talking to Elon Musk, don't call him Ellen, makes him mad. Elon Musk is, when are you going to buy it? When are you going to buy YouTube? I better not say that. Get me kicked off. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Remember that on our website, dailykin.com, in the right-hand column, we have hot headlines. That's where most every night I post the top 10 headlines that I can find, and you can see them there. Not every night, but probably 5-6 nights out of the week. And if you scroll on down to the rest of the site, what you will see is we have like 100 of the top patriotic sites in the country. Well, around the world, most of them in the USA. And just hundreds and hundreds of links. And this thing is updated automatically. So you go to my website, you can see what everyone else is posting all in place. And see y'all next time.